There is a lot of crap around that stops you from gaining your personal power. It's not that it stops you, it's a distraction from your own personal power or a challenge to your personal power. Such scenarios come from the universe, and they create situations in which you need to clarify or look at carefully or discern so that you understand better what is happening around you, and then you can interpret signs. This is what discernment is. It is a interpretation of the signs around you. Now, the universe is indifferent. However, it does enjoy poking you in the gaps where it smells awareness is lacking. So, a lack of awareness. So, and then it hits you at like your weakest spots. Your challenge is never about other people. It's never about situations. It's always you needing to step back from the situation and see that the universe is behind everything. Sneaky universe. But that is the way you need to look at it. If you keep having arguments with your neighbor, for example, somehow you are attracting that situation to you, and you need to look at the whole scenario and why it's happening. So other situations where, for example, if you're looking at a situation in which you as a woman are being abused, and it's happening way too often with different types of men, but they are all behaving the same way, you're attracting it, even though it doesn't appear like it's you. It is you. So you need to go look into that aspect. If you're not bothered, then you just continue with your patterns of getting into cycles of abuse and over again. People who don't examine these things aren't really going to have any possible awareness, obviously. This is stuff for us who are already aware that something bigger is happening to us, and that the universe is quite a player in the game. So the universe always looks for gaps. So it brings situations to you, and you and everyone else, all of us, tend to be involved in a lot of situations where power is usually either threatened to be taken from you or you give it away voluntarily. The best thing is to give it away voluntarily, and we do that. We do that with governments, religion, authority figures, schools, anything that makes us look as though we are we need to give away our power to something else, to someone else. It's the way the predator energy kind of works, predator and prey energy on this planet, because this planet at the point where we are right now is very much predator prey situation, and you're not getting preyed on physically as much as you're getting preyed on energetically, which is why it's important to find the gaps in your awareness and close them up. And that means, in layman's terms, looking for patterns that are causing you to create situations, and then you need to resolve them. So that is all it is. So don't let any big words scare you. That's what shamanism is as well. It's not just a journey. It's not like as romantic as people think it is. It is a very difficult journey, and a lot of people say they're shamans, but they don't understand the extent of it and what it means, and how deeply you need to go to really discern these patterns. So basically, you are looking for different things in your life. So even children and pets, it could be a drainage of energy, or things that you wouldn't even think, that you wouldn't suspect are a drainage of energy on you, and create problem for you. And the universe is still using these things to create that scenario, and you need to look into it deeper to find out why and what's happening. So the other issue is the people who are giving away their power now to people off the planet. So people are trying to get off to, they're in love with the Pleiadians, with the Orion, with the Sirians, and they want to get off the planet, and they want the aliens to appear here. And people, get your mind off the aliens, because where you are now is the best place to be, which is on this planet, in this reality, in this amazing co-creation where magic and mystery are all around. So you don't need to look beyond that to get anywhere. And people I see and I notice are trying to make it appear as, because their lives are shit. So because lives are shit and they think it's boring, and because their egos also get involved, then they're always extending to look outside further to find something different or magical or mystical or something that might save them or something that might make them special. Because if you've got a relationship with an alien, you're special, aren't you? So the best thing is to understand why we're here, why this planet is so amazing as it is, why everything's unfolding perfectly, and why we're very lucky to be here in this potpourri of different kinds of beings, amalgamations of different things happening. Despite everything, things are going extremely well. It doesn't matter that the powers that be don't want you to think that, but things are definitely going well, and they are proceeding beautifully and unfolding wonderfully. And the only thing you need to think about is about your own development, not worry about anything else. And your development means learning how to be your own authority and not give away your power to other people. I've had people who are saying that they're their own authority, and then they're doing kind of giving away their power from behind. Like they're really in front they say one thing, and then behind they do something completely different. This is huge in lack of awareness. What are you doing? Lying to yourself. Lying to yourself. Do not lie to yourself, because this is a huge problem to cover up a lack of self-esteem or a lack of confidence and the feeling of power. And the way to do that is to be authentic with yourself. There's nothing wrong with being authentic, and understanding that to be open and to be authentic is the only way to start to develop yourself in any capacity. So if you're not true to yourself, then who are you going to be true to? Okay, so if you are lying to yourself, which is a huge issue, you are caught up in a bind, a trickster bind, because you are not really going to get anywhere. It's just going in circles. So this is all part of the examination of the self. And you need to look really deeply at yourself, not at other people. Don't worry what other people are doing, and start to look at where you're leaking, where your vulnerabilities are, because it's not just you looking for them. The whole universe is looking for them too. And that's where your scenarios will come in. The universe will bring scenarios to show you what it is that it's fighting with you over. So I've had lots of situations where I've been put in places because I'm too nice. So what happens is it got to the point where I'm no longer that way. So and sort of extending myself to people anymore. And that's because people either are ungrateful or they take advantage. So this is giving away your power. And I don't intend to ever have that happen again. So you really need to be careful. And so I'm only speaking through my experience and from what I've learned. And you really need to make sure that you're onto your own weaknesses before the universe, who knows all, will get to them. So no giving away your power to anybody, not even to the aliens, not to anybody off the planet, not to anybody on the planet. Your battle is with yourself. You're on the journey. But the challenges will come. The challenges will come, and that's okay. Just look at them dispassionately, examine them, scrutinize them. You don't have to tell anybody about it. You can write them down. You can think about it like I do. I always think about what the scenarios that happen, and then come to some sort of conclusion as to what it could be. Everything is a mystery. You're your own mystery, and the other is a mystery as well. So let us examine the mystery and find out what could possibly be behind it, and keep your power to yourself, and don't give any power over to anybody who appears that they're in authority. Just get the information and then use it or don't use it yourself. Put it together or don't put it together. But it's just there. It's just information to use. And it's not there written in stone. And that includes everything. So what you do is you gather what you need and discard the rest. But the important thing is not to fall into any worship to anybody or to give them any power more than yourself. But this is happening all the time, I've noticed. And the next group is the alien group, my favorites. But just because they have more technology or they're in a higher dimensional reality doesn't mean that they're any better or worse. And certainly know that part of this whole universe is quite what's the word? Seems to follow the same types of patterns. So the best thing to do is hold on to your hat and don't and examine things for yourself. But it starts out very small. It starts out with authority, with schools, with religion, and then it grows into bigger things and bigger. Then you just keep giving away your power. So don't do that. Don't be a lunatic like some of these people who have bought into the dream of the world. Like I went for a job interview years ago, and I'll never forget the man who interviewed me. He was basically so involved in his job, thinking it was the most spectacular, most important thing in the world, that I lost track of what he was saying. I was just so shocked that he could think that it was so important, and that it just wasn't. And it was some sort of a vaccination company or something. I didn't take that job, but they are these are people in the dream. What do you do with people in the dream? You just observe them and go along with it, because you're working on your own path, they're on their own path, and just because they're miles behind you, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that eventually they will catch up. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll die unaware, which is likely. But you worry about yourself and unravel your own mystery.